Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to watch our video. Let me address the motorcycle in the room. I no longer have the Harley Davidson Pan America. Duane and I both got rid of our Pan Americas and decided to go with the BMW 1250 GS Adventure. It's the perfect bike for this ride. And while the Harley Davidson Pan America was a fun bike, we just had too many problems with it. I think Duane went through 4 fuel pumps, and mine broke down on me in Mexico. That video is on my channel also, so you're welcome to go see that. Anyway, we think these bikes are perfect for this ride. I left my house and rode up to Roseburg, Oregon, where I met Duane, and then we went and stayed up at his house for a couple of nights in Washington. Headed up to Dawson, rode the Alaska Highway, the Klondike Highway, the Top of the World Highway, the Dalton Highway, and did a little bit of time on the Denali Highway. Those are the 5 highways we wanted to hit on this trip, and we were able to make all 5 of them. I left my house about 5 o'clock in the morning and headed up to 395 across the desert and then up through along the Sierra Mountains and met Duane in Roseburg. He rode down from Washington, met me about 400 miles, and we stopped while in Roseburg and had lunch with a friend of ours named JP. After that, we headed up to Duane's house, spent a couple of nights, and after we were all rested and ready to go, we headed out early the next morning. It's funny, we were going to head out early, and his wife kept saying, no, you got to wait a little bit longer. You got to wait a little bit longer. And so something was up. We didn't know what it was. But as we were leaving out of his driveway and heading down the street, his wife and the neighbors had put up a bunch of signs for us, wishing us good luck. It was really sweet and very thoughtful of them. Kind of get you in the good mood to start the ride. Very thoughtful, very sweet. Anyway, after leaving his house, we went and hit the ferry, rode across over to where we connect with I-5. The nice thing about riding the ferry is on a motorcycle is there's no waiting. You're first on and first off, and it's awful convenient. Once we hit the I-5, we rode up to Sumas where we did the border crossing there. And it was an easy border crossing. I think maybe we spent maybe 15 minutes there at the longest, and had our passports. That's all you need was your passport and your ID, and you're good to go. Canada is just absolutely beautiful. From there, we went up to Kamloops, spent the night, left Kamloops, and went up through Jasper National Park and left Jasper. And on the way to Grand Cache, we were going along the highway about 65, 70 miles an hour, and Duane hit a deer. I can't believe he kept the bike up. It did some damage to his bike, but he didn't go down, so killed the deer instantly. We headed on up to Dawson Creek, took our picture at the famous Alaska Highway sign, and then headed on out from there. Rode up to, stayed in Whitehorse, and leaving Whitehorse, we got on the Klondike Highway. Saw a lot of wildlife while we were here. Saw a lot of black bears, and saw a couple of brown bears and one grizzly bear, and just tons of other wildlife, elk, moose, everything. This poor little guy was scared to death. Cute. There were a lot of wildfires while we were there. I mean, the air quality was terrible. This highway was closed for the last 24 hours, and so we decided to risk it and went out and got in line hoping we'd be able to get out. And sure enough, we did. This guy walked right up to within 50 feet of us while we were standing there on the highway. Rode on up to Dawson City. If you've never been there, it's a treat. This is my first time here, and it was really nice. Dawson City is kind of like the old Klondike town. All the architecture has to be that way. All the streets are still dirt, and it's just a cool town. We stayed at the downtown hotel while we were here, and it was really nice. This is about maybe what I'm showing here on videos, maybe a quarter of the town. It was a little bit bigger town than I expected, but it's a cool stop if you ever get the chance to go there. Leaving Dawson City, headed over to the top of the World Highway, you got to take the ferry. It's right on the Yukon River, and this is the ferry. It's the only one that runs, I think, but it runs all day. It's easy ride, easy on, easy off. And again, they let the motorcycles go up front. And you just sit there and wait to cross. And sure enough, bam, we dropped our bikes. A little bit embarrassing, not too bad. The people on the ferry were really nice. They helped us pick them up. And we remembered to put our kickstand down the next time. Getting off of the ferry, they drop you off right on the beginning of the top of the World Highway. Top of the World Highway is about 98 miles, and the first 60 miles of it is all dirt. It's graded. It's a nice highway. I wouldn't want to do it in the rain. The few wet spots that we hit were pretty slippery, and we're slipping and sliding a little bit. But other than that, it was pretty packed while we were there, and easy ride. The last about 30 miles of the top of the World Highway is all paved. This is getting on it right here at the community of Chicken. And if you're not riding a motorcycle with an 8-gallon tank, there's gasoline here. You could stop and fill up, get a hot cup of coffee. It's a pretty nice little stop out in the middle of nowhere. The thing about the asphalt road there, leaving Chicken, is all the way down to Toke, is the frost heaves are huge. It was like skiing moguls. They were so bad. There's also a border crossing up on the top of the World Highway, so we crossed there from into Alaska. Stayed in Fairbanks and then got on the Dalton Highway and rode it up. The Dalton Highway, I did it in 22, and it was a pretty rough ride this time. It was so nice. It was all graded. A lot of it was paved, but the dirt part was graded, and the weather, as you could see in this video, was friggin' nice. This is the crossing of the Yukon River again on the bridge on the Dalton Highway. And as you cross over here on your way up toward Camp Coldfoot, there's a restaurant and hotel on the left there, the other side of the bridge, and a gas station if you need gas. We stopped, took our pictures at the Arctic Circle, and then headed on up to Coldfoot for the night. Spent the night there. You can ride from Fairbanks all the way up to Deadhorse. It's a 500-mile ride, and if the roads are bad, which sometimes they are, it's a rough ride. So we decided to take our time and spend the night here at Camp Coldfoot. Camp Coldfoot is the hotel rooms aren't the best. They cost you about $240 for a night. A lot of truckers stop here because of the restaurant. They've got a restaurant there, and they serve a buffet, I think, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's pretty good food. The only thing about Coldfoot is you got to stop here for gas, but there's no premium gasoline, just diesel and regular unleaded. So we brought octane boost with us. The thing about Camp Coldfoot, it's real easy to pass because it's not directly on the Dalton Highway. You got to turn on Coldfoot Road, and it's about a quarter mile. It's just around the corner here, the Dalton Highway. But it's easy to miss. A lot of people do. This is the Brooks Range, and it's not as cold as it looks. I think it was 17 degrees when I did it in 22. It was about 53, 56 degrees this year. It was really nice. This is Deadhorse or Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. And one thing you got to remember coming here is this is an oil field. And the hotels, that's we stayed at the Aurora Hotel. That's the Brooks Hotel on the right there in the blue. And on the left over there, the blue building on the left is the hardware store. That's where the famous picture of the Deadhorse, where everybody that rides here, that's the end goal, is to go and have your picture taken at the Deadhorse sign. So we had our picture taken there, and from there we headed out. We did this on the morning that we were leaving, and so we got our picture real quick, and then we headed south. Stayed in Fairbanks again, got our bikes tuned up while we were there, and then headed back south toward Washington to Duane's house. This is Hope, British Columbia. It rained on us a little bit here. We were going to spend the night, but decided it's not that far to the border, so we said the heck with it. Let's just make a run for it. And so we skipped the last hotel and stayed at Duane's house again. I left Duane there at his house and headed back to my house in Temecula. It was a good trip. Just under 9,000 miles total, but saw a lot of wildlife, but great trip. It was a good time. Thanks for watching.